What's up guys, this is Valentina with Bigger Creations, and today we're talking about two techniques that are going to help you with your vocals, but these techniques will also be helpful on any other track. So let's jump into it. So for this example, I'm going to show you the lead vocal for the chorus.
Lately I've been running away, looking for a faraway place. Yeah.
In the context of the mix, let me show you what it sounds like.
Lately I've been running away, looking for a faraway place. Yeah.
So we've got this big, spacious lead vocal, and we want to make sure that it stays present as a lead vocal, even though we've got all this reverb on it. So I'm going to go over here to my bus number 5, which has my CLA Epic plugin, which this is the reverb that I'm using on the main reverb that I'm using on this vocal, and I'm using the Vocal Waves preset. So because I'm sending it through a bus, the mix is set up to 100%. So what I've done here is I've selected bus number 5 to send my reverb settings. So I've got CLA Epic as my main reverb setting here. And then there are two things that I do after my reverb. So first I'm going to show you what it sounds like with just the reverb on there. And then I'll show you the two techniques that will make the reverb sound a whole lot better and make the vocals pop in the mix.
Lately I've been running away, looking for a faraway place. Yeah.
The first technique we're going to talk about today is doing some subtractive EQ on your reverbs and delays and any kind of send settings like that. So what I've done here is I've set up an EQ where I'm cutting off some of the high frequencies and cutting off some of the low frequencies just to really control the reverb to happen only in these mid-range frequency. Without and then with.
Lately I've been running away, looking for a faraway place. Yeah. Lately I've been running away, looking for a faraway place. Yeah. Yeah.
So it already sounds a lot more controlled. We have less of those distracting high frequencies being affected by the reverb. So that's the first technique we want to talk about. Just some subtractive EQ onto your send effects, especially for things like reverb and delay. The second technique I want to talk about today is sidechain compression. You may have heard about sidechaining specifically when it comes to like making sure that your 808 and your kick drum don't compete with each other, but you can also use sidechain compression for vocals. And let me show you exactly what I'm talking about. So in this case, we're still remaining on this same bus where we're putting our reverb, our delay, any sort of stylistic type of things. But you'll notice that while the vocal is playing, the reverb is playing at the same time. So with a big reverb like this, the reverb is continuing to play in the background while new words are being said by the vocal. So what I like to do is I pull up a compressor and I set up a sidechain to go to the main vocal that I'm talking about. So in this case, we're dealing with our lead chorus. So we've selected our lead chorus vocal as the sidechain. And what that's doing is basically this compressor is going to be triggered by whenever that main lead vocal is happening. Why do we want to do that? Because we can set up the compressor to basically get the reverb to be compressed and lowered in volume while the lead vocal is actually going on. And then at the end of the phrases, it turns it back on so that we have the reverb effect at the end of the phrases without getting a super distracting like multi-voice effect when we're especially working with large reverbs. So let me show you the difference. So we've got this compressor, we've got it sidechained to our lead chorus vocal, which is the same vocal that is going to this actual bus, right? So this is the actual audio file we're working with. And what I like to do is actually go to the graph setting because it's a little bit easier to visualize what exactly is going on, but I'll show you here. So first, let's just leave it to the settings and see what's going on here on the graph.
Lately I've been running away, looking for a faraway place. Yeah.
So if you notice here on the graph, that white line is dipping whenever the lead vocal is singing and turns the knob back up for the reverb to be in effect. So you can leave it to these default settings, but you can also tweak it. So what I like to do is kind of just listen to it over and over again and mess with the knee, the attack, and the release. Sometimes the ratio if I want it to be a little bit more aggressive. So let's take a listen.
Lately I've been running away, looking for a faraway place. Yeah. Lately I've been running away, looking for a faraway place. Yeah, yeah.
The reason why I like this graph version better is because it's just a little bit easier to visualize what's happening in real time versus just the meter going back and forth. And then I also like to be able to visualize what's happening with the knee. So here we've got a really hard knee, but if I put it all the way up, it's a lot smoother. So it's kind of just an easy way to visualize what you're actually doing with these knobs. But yeah, you'll notice, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn off the sidechain compression and the EQ and show you a before and after. So before.
Lately I've been running away, looking for a faraway place. Yeah. Lately I've been running away, looking for a faraway place. Yeah, yeah.
So we talked about sidechain compression and how that specifically will help your vocals on your reverb bus sends. But you can also use this on things that are not vocals. Another example of where you can apply this technique is on your snare drums. So basically, if you want your snare drum to feel big and loud, but you don't want to cut it right at the transient, which if you just slap on reverb to your snare, then it's gonna kind of kill the transient and the punch behind it. But if you do some sidechain compression to your reverb through a send bus, then you're actually able to let the transient come through your compressor and then kick in on the reverb. There's a lot of uses and applications for sidechain compression. These are just some examples of how you can use it. I hope this video was helpful. If it was, make sure to hit that thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss future videos. And if you want to hear this song, it comes out on April 8th. I'll leave a link to it in the description. As always, if you want to see more content, check me out on Instagram, TikTok, and keep making beats.